So I got the exhaust pipe off the truck, and this part here obviously bolts to the exhaust manifold on the motor. It comes up and around. This flexible bit up here is broken through, and that goes on there somewhere, and then the exhaust brake and the muffler and everything on behind it. Now, I tried to buy one of these flexible bits once, and that was 15 years ago, on a different motor, and the exhaust places won't sell them on their own, they won't weld them in, and I thought, well, you can get the bigger spiral type ones that they use on bigger trucks. I've never seen one this small, but they might make them. These days a lot might have changed. So I was going to get rid of the flexible section, and I thought, I reckon I can possibly make a clamp for that, so we'll see how we go. I'm going to try to clamp this onto here and have it all airtight and flexible and working and exhausting, so my exhaust is no longer exhausted. Okay, that bit goes under there, welds on, weld that one over the top of that and the existing bit, and then that one over the top of that one, and then the whole lot of that comes up and it'll go on like that, and then I'll make a band to go around and clamp that to that. What comes in handy, here we go, this is the one I want, trying to line up two bits of pipe to weld them neatly. And a steel post, steel picket, steel star post, whatever you want to call it. Put that puppy in the vise. It sits in there, it's got the right shape. That is today's useless information. Now, stop waiting finding that from doing its thingamading. Then you can spin things around until you find a nice, where the gap closes up the most, like about that. And spin this around until we get a nice even gap. If we see, the gap's not perfectly even between the two of them. So we spin that around, and that's looking sort of pretty good. See, the gap's pretty closed up all the way around. Now, this steel post, farmers use for fencing. It looks, in Australia, it looks like this on top. It's got holes in the side, these are all chopped off. It's got holes in the side that run the wires through, so one bit here goes in the vise, and this other bit is the V on top to sit the bits of pipe in. As with all this, I always tell people, even in this ridiculous tropical climate I live in, always wear your overalls when you're welding, especially any length of welding. Slip in and out of them all day if it's hot as a bastard like it is here, but you're a long time fucked with skin cancer. Or maybe you're a short time, I don't know, it depends on what type, how bad the cancer is. Plenty of people die of skin cancer in Australia every year, probably every day. So, not worth the risk. Slip into the ovaries, as flattering as they are with my stunning physique, and burn a hole or two. Okay, I have, if you can see this, it's all welded around, so I've got the bit of internal pipe that slides down into the flexible piece. Then there's the first bit at the sleeve, and then the second bit to build it up to the same size as this one here, the existing flexible. So that's done, it's welded all the way around, and it's possibly not suitable for submarine pressure testing, but yeah, I think it'll be airtight well and truly enough. Okay, so now I've got to make my band clamp. It's going to be about 4.5 inches wide. And yes, why am I making that band clamp? Because it's Easter in Australia, and it's Easter in the rest of the world, I guess, as well. And everything's shut, so I need a truck on the first day back. It's only a little truck. So I'm going to use this old welder case from the first inverter welder I had. It was a SIG weld. They'll never be a sponsor of mine, not that I'll ever get a sponsor because they're crap. SIG weld used to make really good gear once, but like everything, it's gone to made in China shit, and it's just shit these days. Seems to be the way of the world. Anyway, After this one died within 18 months, it's actually 14 months it was, it died a couple of months out of warranty, I went and spent some more money, like 2.5 times as much, and I bought a good Lincoln one, and nearly 10 years later, I've never had a problem. It's chalk and cheese. So these are DC inverter welders. Anyway, so I'm going to cut some bands, 4.5 inches wide, one out this side, and one out that side. And, not that anyone will be wondering, the band needs to be, if I measure the diameter, I could get all technical and go on pi and all that other stuff that I didn't pay enough attention to, which is times it by 3.1 something something something, or you can just wrap the tape measure around, and it's about 9 inches I need in length to go to do a full circumference. So then by the time I bend it up at each end, so I need 11 inches if I was to go all around and meet up, but I want a gap in the middle, so I'm only on about 10 inches long. I want a gap so you can actually clamp it up tight. Just so happens, this is about 10 inches long. Have to cut another bit off, which will be off this other crooker side, and that's so when it's got that 1 inch gap so the bit slides into it. You'll see. Looking my intelligence best, got my glasses on. There's my bit of welder. If you're quick, you could have got my phone number then. Give me a call. Chew the fat. So, what I've done here, turn over this way, maybe a bit easier for you to read. We can go that way. These here are to plug weld that on. Okay, those there, that gets bent up at a right angle or down, doesn't make any difference, each end. That'll wrap around the pipe. This here will be like a tongue to go under the join, and we'll see what happens. But that only took like all of, I don't know, 20 minutes, I guess. So I'm going to bend these over, and we'll see how we go. We probably need to, watch me do the other one the wrong way. Sexy. Now, to wrap it, I'll put a pipe up here, clamp it in the vise and roll it over slowly. Maybe not as slowly as I once thought. That one on the other side, eh? So I can clamp it. Now I'm thinking, and I don't know, we're going to do the other end as well and work back to the middle. Perhaps if there's any people dumb enough to work on sheet metal like me, they could tell me if I'm doing this right. I may be wrong. Probably wrong. Let's see how we go. Oh, look at that. I swear I should have been a plumber. So now I've got it started. I reckon if I just clamp it there, I reckon I can guess what? I didn't have to go to the full 90 degree on those, did I? Because it's supposed to have an inch gap, and it probably would have been much easier had I thought of it. To weld this bit on before I bent it. Yeah, idiot at work. In case anyone was wondering what it was all going to look like, I've made my band clamp with my quality plugging weld knot. Look at that. Don't look at the plug welds. Look at that. I need to get some square bar and put 2 holes in each side. needs to be like an inch square. I suppose I'll use some box. And that's so these don't bend over flat. If the bolt's going through, it can't twist that over flat. And then it's ready to go back on a truck, I think. Bloody marvellous. Well, the old SIG welds come in handy for something. Yeah. This is amateur hour. I don't know my arse from my elbow. But look at that. And you do the whole lot up. That is magnificent, Paul. The reason you use a square on these tabs here is if you didn't use anything there, they just bend over flat. But because the bolts has got two holes to go through on something rigid, it means they can't bend over flat. That's my theory. But that's done, it's ready to go back on. Oh, hang on, I tell a lie. I've got to actually thread these bolts a bit because I don't have any bolts with enough thread on. So I'll pull them out and run the die over them, but that's nothing. Put it back in and should be like a bought one. And hopefully quite bought one that doesn't set the world on fire. That's perler, Paul. A flippin' perler. Anyway, I got other things to do now. Look at that there, eh? One SIG weld. Exhaust clamp. Band clamp. Homemade, and it's taken me about 2 hours. That is amazing. For whatever size exhaust that is. That is a ball terror. Well, there you go. It's on. It's installed. And it works. There's a bit of a gap here. It's actually airtight because this collar here that I welded on is a bit twisted. So it is airtight. It can move around if it needs to. The exhaust brake is back on. Not really much else to say. And it actually works. There you go. Wonders will never cease. Look at that. Pure power. See how much it vibrates here. I mean, you can see that. But it's definitely the flexible coupling in there. Look at that. Well, the exhaust is much more. What do you think, Molly? Do you even care? No, Daddy, I'm going for a ride. The Geisher Girl, she goes. That's nice and quiet now. You can hardly hear that exhaust. You could hardly talk before. What do you reckon, Molly? You like the little Geisher Girl? Well, I got right. So yes, long story short, what a dream machine. Look at that, she just goes like a rocket. All day, every day. What do you reckon, Molly? Just keep on keeping on. Well, more than happy with that end result. I hope it holds. The big blue strap-on thing, the band. So all in all, I think it's taken me longer to get the bloody thing back on and put back together than it took to make the clamp. That's amazing, isn't it? And surprisingly, I was putting it off because I thought, oh god, it's going to be a bastard to get bolts undone. As anyone knows, unbolt the manifolds off exhaust can be, let's throw a word for a Molly, scary. But look at it. It goes perfect. It's quiet, isn't it, darling? Well, that exhaust brake obviously hasn't worked for a long time because it's never made that much noise before. so peaceful. I reckon that's been leaking for a long time. When I got the muffler off, when I put the exhaust down below, it was a bit soft and twisty in there, and of course me getting the muffler off and breaking the end out of the muffler that I packaged on another video is probably the final straw for that flexible joint. But that's amazing now, that's perfect, listen to it. None of that rolling on. So, there we have it. Molly and I are being for a test drive. The exhaust is no longer exhausted. The Geisher Girl has a strap on. And something's had gastric banding. Well, you've got to wait. I'll get you out the other... No, wait! Why are you so keen? You always want to come in the truck and then you always want to be first out. Why? Please explain. Don't look at me like that. I'm hip to your type, yes I am. No, stay there. I'll get you out the other side. What's your problem? Why are you so impatient? Okay. Now, would you like to hop out, darling? Come on. Come on. Oh!